The little girl opened the curtains. Thought I saw my grandma the next second. Turns out this weird little town. There will be demons at night. Everyone must be home before dark. And Sheriff Black rings the bell every evening. Urge everyone to go home. Even if there are no finished customers in the restaurant, you'll be told by your boss that it's time to go home. Every family should lock their doors and windows, and hang a black stone beside the door, a hebel. The last of the town's fun-loving youngsters are safely home. And then return to the police station. He expected the security number at the door. Tomorrow, it could be 97. But it happened tonight. Jack was drunk and passed out at the bar. His wife and daughter waited anxiously at the door until dark. Finally, the wife reluctantly closed the door and window. Worried, he touched the black stone by the door. The daughter was upstairs alone, praying to sleep. Can suddenly hear the grandmother wants her to open the window voice. The girl doesn't know. Demons often act like the people closest to you, inducing you to open doors and windows, and then they'll tear you apart and eat you. The mother who heard the sound tried to stop it, but it was too late. The next day, hungover, Jack returns home. I found the neighbors crowded around my door. Thought there was going to be a party. At this time a black angrily rushed out of the door. Up there is a slap. Yell at Jack for having kids at home. Why don't you lock down the window? Then he dragged Jack upstairs. The devouring remains of his wife and daughter come into view. Jack fell to his knees in remorse. He could not believe his momentary neglect killed the family closest to him. A black gas want to shoot him, but they finally had him locked up. Residents held funerals for the mother and daughter. The town is littered with abandoned cars. Visible town. It is impossible for the inhabitants to escape. Just then, an unfortunate alien caravan came into town. A strange big tree was lying in the middle of the road, in the way of Jim's family. They got out of the trailer to check it out. There were creepy crows flying all over the sky, crying miserably. They felt a little afraid. Hurried back to the car to find another way. I don't know when. They broke into a weird little town. Cars with broken tires are everywhere. Nearby residents holding a funeral. I got a lot of weird looks. Jim dared to go down and ask for directions, but the residents listened to hey, don't talk to strangers. Finally, hey, Jim, is that your family on the bus? Jim said yes. A black-faced solemn gave Jim directions to the highway. Now, Jim's wife sensed something was amiss. Then something weird happened. Follow Hay's directions. You're gonna end up back in town no matter what. The wife suspected she was going too fast and missed the freeway, but Jim said the car was only going 30 miles an hour. Hay saw Jim trapped. Preps and assistants will stop them. We haven't even set up our interception gear yet. Jim's car was in an accident. Jim was stuck in the cab. Wife unconscious, daughter is fine. The little boy in the back was pierced in the thigh by force. The driver in the black sedan. Liang choking, get off to look for help. Just met ready to block the sheriff. A black sent his assistant to take the driver to town for treatment, and then I called for help to come here. By the car, the drunk man was interested in Hay's appearance. He did something about it. A black saw that he was not seriously injured and put him against the car. Then he got into the RV. He rescued Jim's oldest daughter first. The paramedics who arrived just in time for Julie rescued Jim's wife. But the little boy was more seriously injured. It'll take at least an hour to get him out. It's only 40 minutes before dark. Hay took out the black stone he carried with him. Made a bold decision. He decided to spend the night in the RV. He had his assistant lead the others drive to town to escape. Unexpectedly, the tire was punctured by the nail just buried. The little boy was impaled in the thigh in the car accident. Sheriff Black with the lady doctor and Jim, the boy's father, planning to spend the night in the RV for treatment. They sealed up the RV. Hay took out the black stone of exorcism. Hanging in the window, Jim looked puzzled. He asked what he was doing. A black too late to explain. Just that he's trying to make the RV as safe as possible. Night in the forest. Millions of ghosts are approaching the RV. That's when the boy suddenly convulsed. Doctors are struggling to save him. Just then there was a knock on the door. Jim thought it was the rescuers coming back. Hay knew this was the devil's usual trick. Just open the door. All four are certain to die, but Jim, unbeknownst to him, insisted on answering the door. I was pulled over by Hay. He said they weren't people. It's a monster that will eat us. Then the monster kept knocking on the door, making all kinds of noises and climbing on top of the car. The doctor grew nervous. A black hurriedly comforted him. Forget the sound outside. They can't open the door with black rocks on it. Focus on saving the baby. The doctor calmed down. In no time, the three men worked together to remove the sharp weapon from the child's leg. Everyone fell asleep peacefully. This is when curiosity drives. Jim took down the black stone by the window. How does it work?
No, no. No!
Hay stopped everything just in time. Turns out it was the doctor who did it. The other side of the dream. The assistant took a group of people to the town to escape. The tire was punctured by a nail and could only be reached by running. We barely made it to town, but residents refused to open their doors for safety.